join the New York Mets.
Is it possible to drive a car and still have a clean environment? To refine a cleaner gasoline? Can solar power become mainstream? Could business go further and be a force for good? Can 100,000 people in 100 countries come together to build a new brand of progress for the world? We think so. And now BP, Amoco, Arco, and Castrol get together to try. Beyond petroleum. BP.
Imagine a world filled with all your favorite music, computer, and stereo equipment. Imagine a world with knowledgeable salespeople, huge selection, and low prices. It's J&R Music and Computer World, New York's world-class music and computer connection.
Open a Chase checking account and get frequent flyer miles for everything on your to-do list. Errands that don't seem very rewarding could be earning you Continental One Pass miles. Get One Pass miles with a Chase Continental Airlines banking card. The first debit card that gives you miles for every little thing you buy. And the only way to get one is to open a Chase checking account. Then, when shopping seems less than rewarding, at least you've got the miles. Chase, the right relationship is everything.
Hi there. I hope you're going to spend that money wisely.
What?
Put it toward this.
A new 2001 Corolla CE. Lease one now for just $189 a month. $189 a month, 36 months, $18.24 due at signing plus taxes and fees. The 2001 Corolla, still America's most trusted car at your Toyota dealer.
And I was just going to buy shoes.
You and Toyota, much better fit.
Baseball is brought to you locally by Toyota. Real value every day.
Hey, our Chopper 5 pilot Andrew, not wanting to make a commitment to one team or another. That's okay. Millions of New Yorkers are taking over that job. Yankee fans and Mets fans both coming into the stadium as they get ready, just about 45 minutes away from first pitch for Game 1 of the 2000 World Series. And we've talked about the history of the all-New York matchups. You know, it's been since 1956 that it's been a Subway Series, but it's not the only time that it has been a Subway World Series.
For the first time since 1986, the Mets are going to the World Series.
A slow roller, but Martinez doesn't run well. Jeter up with it. Starts spreading the news. New York, New York.
When the Mets and Yanks clinched their respective pennants this week, it set up the first all-New York World Series in 44 years. But when the last one occurred, it was almost inconceivable that the break would be so long. The 1956 Subway Series between the Yankees and Brooklyn Dodgers capped a span of 7 all-New York World Series in 10 years. That's right, 7 in 10 years. The New York Giants and New York Yankees met once in the World Series, while it was the Yanks and Brooklyn Dodgers getting together 6 times.
My dad was a Brooklyn Dodger fan, so, you know, just hearing him reminisce sometimes about the Brooklyn Dodgers and the Yankees and the New York Giants, kind of make faces like, yeah, what is he talking about? But now I probably have an understanding of what he's talking about.
Of those 7 all-New York matchups, the Yankees won all except the 1955 affair, when the Dodgers and their little second baseman Don Zimmer fought back from losing the first 2 games of the series to knock off the vaunted Yankees in 7.
Then the Dodgers go wild as they mob pitcher Padres, who hurls Brooklyn to its first World Championship.
That next year, things returned to what the Yankees considered normal when the Yanks snapped a 2-2 series tie when pitcher Don Larson threw the only perfect game in World Series history.
Strike 3. It's the first no-hitter ever pitched in a World Series game, and a perfect no-hitter.
I'd like to say I was younger, but I was 16. And I was sitting in the third deck between third base and left field. And it was quite an experience. I went there pulling for the Dodgers and left pulling for the Yankees. I mean, you couldn't help yourself about the 5th inning on to get caught up in that whole thing.
That propelled the Yanks to a 7-game victory in the 56 series. Johnny Cooks' complete game 9-0 win was overshadowed by Yogi Berra's 2 home runs in the contest. It was a Subway Series win that would have to last nearly half a century. That is, until now, this first year of a new century.
The city loved those showdowns between those teams, so I think the city's going to love the showdown between these 2 teams.
And before we get to this first World Series game of the new century, Keith, some final thoughts on the Mets side.
Well, on the Mets side, I think Game 1 is critical, only because they're here at Yankee Stadium and got to play Game 6 and 7. The lineup-wise, Todd Zeile and the left-hander Robin Ventura have got to come through and hit the ball like they did in the playoffs to protect Piazza.
All right, Bobby and Tommy?
Curt, I thought I wanted to find a way to pick the Mets, but I keep harping back to the stat that blows me away. The Yankees have won the last 12 World Series games.
Unbelievable. If the Yankees win the game tonight, they will set an all-time record as far as consecutive wins in the World Series. It's almost unbelievable with the Yankees having played the Atlanta Braves for the last couple of years, and with their pitching staff have won 12 consecutive ball games.
And for my money, Curt, I think that Paul O'Neill could be the key for the Yankees. Who do you think the key is?
Well, for the New York Yankees, I think it's going to be their pitching. Joe Torre has always said if we don't have pitching, we don't have a chance to win. So it's going to be the starting pitching for the Yankees.
All right, Curt, back to you.
Sounds like they're Yankee guys. Quickly, who are you taking?
Well, I think that they get the two best teams here. The Yankees are the favorite. I think it's going 7.
All right, no commitment. I'm taking the Mets in 6. We will be back after Game 1 of the World Series is all done. A complete post-game wrap-up for you coming up live on Fox 5. Stay tuned for the Fox Network and the 2000 New York Sub.
This fall, Robert Downey Jr. joins the cast of Ally McBeal.
I should have knocked.
Season premiere Monday at 9 on Fox 5.
You know me? Probably not. In my daily life, I like to be recognized. Hi. When I shop on the internet, I prefer a little privacy, which is why I use the American Express card. With private payments, I get the security of a unique number created for each purchase I make. It's just one of the ways American Express helps me protect my identity online. And soon they'll even help me surf the net anonymously, giving me the recognition I'm looking for. None. American Express. Don't leave home pages without it.
Let me guess. American, right?
Yeah. Can I have a beer, please?
Certainly, sir. Here we are. No, on the house. So, are you in England on business then?
Yeah. Heading back down to Heathrow tonight.
Johnny here will drive you.
It'd be my pleasure, sir.
You need to relax, love.
England isn't really like this. That's why our business class is. Upper Class by Virgin Atlantic.
Can I have a cold beer?
Here is a universal truth. In business, you do not find $500 million under the couch cushions. Around such transactions, you'll find brains, resources, mild insomnia, and a bank like Fleet. Fleet Corporate Banking Services. Loan syndication, corporate lending, risk management, global services. Together, we're moving forward, always thinking. Fleet.
Whether you're at home conquering the world or venturing out into it, now Verizon local customers can stay connected with free internet access. Because Verizon is giving its local customers who sign up for select digital wireless plans free internet access at home and on their wireless phones until Memorial Day 2001. It's the internet how, where, and when you want it. Call Verizon now to find out how you can get it all. And consider it done.
Now batting, number 42, Jackie Robinson.
It is not the critic who counts. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust, sweat, and blood, who at best knows the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, fails while daring greatly, so that he shall never be with those timid souls who know neither victory or defeat.
Baseball is brought to you locally by AIG.
Cops and America's Most Wanted will not be seen tonight. Now, stay tuned for Game 1 of the World Series, next on Fox.
Once upon a time, New York City was home to 3 baseball teams. 3. And most of the time, 2 of them would play for the championship of the world in this, the world's greatest city. Okay, pal? Hey, Mrs. Vanucci, the Iceman's here. Now, in 1923, the year that Babe built the house, the New York Yankees would beat the New York Giants and win the very first title against a team from across the river in Manhattan. But, and I'm talking about a big but, you know, like Cecil Fielders. If you're talking about a Subway Series, pal, I mean the real thing, the real Subway Series, then it is Brooklyn. And Mrs. Vanucci, can Tommy come down? The games are on! And the Bronx, the Bums and the Bombers, Dodger Blue and Yankee Pinstripes. And while I got you here, from 1941 to 56, the Yankee fans and the Maniacs from Brooklyn would ride the BMT line for 7 World Series. Can you imagine that? 7 times they did this. And the players and the moments from those series are unbelievable. You never forget them. Remember? If you don't remember this, I'm going to give you a fresh one. Red Barber going nuts. Jim Peter going back. He makes a one-handed catch against the bullpen. Whoa, doctor. Joe D kicking the dirt. Jackie stealing home.
I knew that I was in there. Yogi was a little upset about it.
A little upset. I think he was out. I knew he was out. To this day, he goes nuts. The Yankees beat him every time, except 55. But, you know, we had a headache or something. The Bums of Brooklyn finally became Lords. Yeah, the Lords of Flatbush. Get it? Hey, Mom, I'm just talking to some people here. You take it out. The players, man. Pee-wee and the Scooter. Mickey and the Duke. Whitey and Nuke. And the last series in 56, Don Larson, baby. Perfect. Forget about it. I thought it was boring because, you know, like nothing happened. But now, 44 long years later, the World Series will once again be a Subway Series. But these days, it ain't those guys that I talked about. You got new heroes. You got Mike and Derek, Bernie and Fonzie, Bobby and Joe. As the amazing Mets and the legendary Yankees, they're going to fight for the right to call New York their own. Who are you picking? Forget about it. I don't even want to know. West side, east side, uptown, downtown. Hey, taxi! I gotta get to the game. Jersey to upstate. Well, Jersey don't really count. From Queens to the Bronx. It's time to choose your side, and you better choose wisely, pal. Otherwise, I'll give you a fresh one. Because let's face it, it is either New York or it's New York. It's unbelievable. Either way, we win. And Mrs. Finucci, can Tommy come down and beat somebody up? Hey, who wants to travel down the track to time? So we're coming into the stop. Mets and the Yankees playing for the pride of New York and for the championship of the world, Ma. Forget about it. Hey, what do I got to eat? How about that?
It's the E-Trade World Series pregame show, brought to you by E-Trade. It's your money.
We are here, Mets, at baseball's Armageddon.